Moving on to the Warriors, segueing into the Warriors, they have won 5 straight games, 7 of their last 8, moving them up to 10th in the Western Conference. So they are making movement here. Hey, it's a tight little race here. They're half a game behind the Lakers for 9, 4 games behind the Suns for the 6th seed. So they're not too far out, but they are getting closer. Steph in the last 8 games has averaged 31.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. It's just kind of been Kuminga has been the clear number 2 option. He has accepted that role ever since he called out Steve Kerr. He's been, getting consistent 30 plus minutes a game in the starting rotation, getting the second most shots behind Steph, and he is the second best offensive option on that team at this point. It's not Clay, it's not Wiggins, it's definitely not Draymond, so it's got to be Kuminga. He's been playing very well. And also Klay Thompson, I don't know if you saw this quote from him. It came out yesterday, I believe, just talking about his situation and, him being open to accepting a reduced role. So this is what he said. He goes, "There's nothing wrong with that. I'll be 35 next year. At 35, coming off the ACL and an Achilles tear, and still have the ability to be a really good player. Maybe not the guy who scored 60 and 3/4 and scored an NBA record 37 points in a quarter, but still a great threat out there. I've modeled my game after Reggie and Ray, and those guys were incredibly effective until their late 30s. So I plan on kind of following that mold." Yeah, he definitely ain't what he used to be. And I think that's kind of like what we've all come to terms with. And
2 years ago,
just, yeah, dude, it's like, you're right. When you tear both your ACLs and you're at this point in your career, like, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to come back from that. So I'm happy that it's nice to hear him say that would be accepting a reduced role, because like, I know, I'm not speaking. I know that I'm speaking for other people too, but like, it would have sucked to see Klay Thompson leave Golden State and maybe retire somewhere else or something like that. Because like, it would be cool seeing the big three kind of starting in Golden State and finishing Golden State. So it would have been tough kind of seeing like one of the guys that was one of the biggest parts of the dynasty, leaving because of this or that reason. So it would be nice to see him stay in Golden State, finish his career there. But if that were to happen, things have to change, roles have to change and stuff. He can't be that starting, that starter that he once was, where he can give you 30, 40 minutes, whatever. So hopefully this means that, he'll they'll work out money this off season, so he'll stick around, reduced role. But yeah, that also plays a part into, why they've been playing well as well. Roles have been kind of mixing around on that team. They're kind of figuring it out right now. So do you think, I know we kind of said it in the last segment, but do you think the Warriors have a shot here, or is this just kind of like, they're good right now, but at the end of the day, this is just, they're on a little run. That's nothing more.
Yeah. It's the regular season. Things happen where the Charlotte Hornets won 2 games for the first time since November.
The Pistons won 2 straight games last month too. So
I'm not trying to compare. Obviously, we're not comparing those teams to the Warriors. They're not that bad.
Right. But in the NBA, things happen. Streaks happen. Yeah.
You catch lightning in a bottle. You win 5 out of your last 7 games. Congrats. The Warriors still have a chance to actually make the postseason. I do think that could be in the cards. But it's really on the fence because there's a lot of really good teams out west. And I'll never doubt the greatness of Steph Curry or the greatness of Draymond Green or Klay Thompson. Like, I'm glad Klay Thompson is great enough to realize that he's not the same player, that he can't really move and guard these like quick point guards anymore. And he has to transition to guard 3s and 4s. I'm glad he was able to come to that realization. Every great Hall of Famer does, especially if you're not a freak athlete or a bona fide number 1 option on your team like a LeBron or a Kobe, or hell, look at Steph. I'm glad that a guy like Klay Thompson was able to finally come to realization of that. But I still don't think the Warriors are going to be good enough, like I said in the last segment, to contend with a lot of these better teams out west, a lot of these younger teams out west. Look at the top.
There's just too much talent in the West.
Yeah, like even if they do make it, let's say they get to the 8th seed, they beat the Lakers in the play-in and whoever else is towards the bottom, they make it. hey, great, you're playing the Clippers in the first round, or you're playing the Thunder
or
in
the
the first.
Nuggets, or the Thunder, or the Wolves. Yeah,
And it's like,
yeah.
that's awesome. Like, I won't bet against Steph Curry having a big series, but I can see Steph
It's
dropping
everyone
40 a
else.
night. Yeah.
It's everyone
And then
else that you have to worry about.
I can't, it's hard for me to
Yeah.
like find that much optimism. In 2022, when they were going on a run, I didn't count them out. I was still kind of high on them at that time when they won their last title. But this year, or even last year, they're not flowing the same way.
Yeah, like you said, it's like you can count on Steph. You know what he's going to give you. But what's Wiggins going to give you? What's Clay going to give you? What's Kuminga going to give you? You have no clue.
I don't know.
You have no clue.